Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, I'm going to show you what I think I can say with a fair degree of certainty are the weirdest Pokemon cards ever. And if they're not the actual weirdest Pokemon cards ever, they are pretty gosh darn close, ladies and gentlemen. They are pretty gosh darn close. So what do J Balvin, Katy Perry, and Post Malone all have in common? Well, they all provided music for the 25th anniversary album of Pokémon, and they all have a new V card. Yeah, that's right. We've got J Balvin V, and we've got Katy Perry V, and we've got Post Malone V. This is weird, right? Let me explain. Now, I should mention at the start, these are not the first human Pokemon cards we've ever had. Of course, if we focus on Katy Perry V for a moment, we can see there is a Pikachu on the artwork, but it is Katy Perry V. The Pokemon is Katy Perry V. However, it's not the first time it's happened. There was a promo that came out in Japan last year, I want to say. It's hard to figure out what happened what year at the moment, which is Coco. And the card is Coco, even though Coco is a human, not a Pokemon. We did, if you go right back, and I've done a video about this, I'll try and remember to link it in the description. What we've actually got is Mega Sachiko EX. Shout out to lovely Cerebi Joe for reminding me about this one. I could not remember the name for the life of me. So what we basically have here was this super weird card, and there's only a few of these in existence. They are ridiculously rare. But this is basically a singer over in Japan, and you had to apply for a lottery, and then you got to go to a concert, and you got given one of these cards. Now, there is no Sachiko EX, so unfortunately trying to play it is not impossible. There are some cheeky ways to do so, but it's incredibly difficult. But it was really just there as a fun promo. Obviously never saw a release outside of Japan. Nobody would really get it if they did. But that was a human as a Pokemon. But as far as I am aware, and correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, they are the only two humans that have ever come as Pokemon cards. And now we've jumped right up to having 3 more. So, we'll look through them all quickly in a minute and have a little bit of a look. However, there are a few important questions that need to be addressed first. Hang on a second. If we look at the set numbers, does that mean that there are loads of these? Because Katy Perry is 10 out of 25, J Balvin is 5 out of 7, and Post Malone is 7 out of 4. Which clearly makes no sense. A couple people have suggested it, but I think when you look at Post Malone, it becomes pretty obvious. These are actually birthdays. They have put their birthdays as the set numbers. What that means is there could be more of these. We don't really know. It is important to note that these 3 were officially revealed by Pokemon, and they were the only 3 that were revealed. Feels like if there were more coming, they would have showed us more when they showed us these. That's not a guarantee, of course, we don't know, but I think it's fair to assume that these are the only 3 that are coming. Then, of course, we get to the question which I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, and that question is, well, hang on a second, Wassy, how do I get these? And the answer is, I don't know. And I'm not going to tell you how to get them, and I'm sure there are going to be some clickbait videos out there that say, here's how to get them. Don't click on them, nobody knows. These have not been announced. I suppose in the future they might be, and then you can click on them, but, as it stands at the moment, nothing's been announced. I have heard from a reputable source that these are real, as in they exist physically. Somewhere, in some form, physical versions of these exist. And to be fair, on Instagram, Pokemon did send out a picture of a physical version of the J Balvin V. So, they exist. Are they going to be given out? I don't know. One thing that is kind of interesting is that the kind of music merchandise, shirts and things along those lines, they haven't sold out like a lot of Pokemon stuff tends to sell out. So what that means is something like this could help to sell in the same way that, Special Delivery Pikachu, when that came out, it was, hey, spend $20 on anything on the Pokemon store, get a Special Delivery Pikachu. Well, I don't need to tell you that a lot of stuff that wouldn't have sold otherwise sold because of Special Delivery Pikachu. So, I don't know, I'm not the first one to suggest this. Clearly, other people are thinking about this as well. But it is absolutely possible that this would become an incentive. However, also, people like lovely Stephen Kent suggested that. But what I will... Playscape Games. But what I will say, seems weird that they do it now. Seems weird that they wouldn't announce this when they put the merch on sale. So I'm not saying it's not happening, but I am saying that would be a little bit weird and slightly unusual. I'd like it, but I don't know. So the fact of the matter is, we don't know if more are coming. It's unlikely, though. We don't know how these are being given out, or indeed if they are being given out. I find it weird that Pokemon would show these off, give us actual proper scans, and then turn around and be like, no, you can't have it, mate. That seems weird. And it seems like the kind of thing that could annoy people. So I'm not saying these are going to be made available. Once again, we do not know if these are being made available or not. But I think it is absolutely fair to ask the question, why would they make these and show them off if they weren't going to make them available? Because, of course, we've seen cards like this before. We saw Ishihara GX, Ishihara being the president of the Pokemon Company. And that's a card that was never actually supposed to be shown off, but it got PSA graded and it got shown off and we all got to look at it. Doug Ferguson GX was another one. These were essentially presents that were given out to employees of the Pokemon Company. They were never intended to be shown off or any of that, but these things have a way of being shown off. But those cards leaked out because they got graded or somebody showed them off, etc. That's not the case here. These have been officially shown off by Pokemon, and to show these off but then be like, oh no, they're just fun little mock-ups, we're not making them available. I don't think they would do that, but you never know, maybe they would. So now I suppose we need to ask the question of, alright, which of these musical icons has gone and got the best of them? Well, Katy Perry has a Pikachu, 180 HP, retreat cost of 2, weakness to fighting, all fairly standard. And for 2 lightning, 1 colourless energy, 130 damage, plus 20 to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. That's not terrible. Now, the 130 I'm not loving because it's kind of a one-hit KO, but only on really standard single-prize Pokemon. Not even bigger ones, 2-hit KOing Vs, 3-hit KOing V Maxes, but I like that you're spreading a bit of damage there as well. Not going to argue it's a powerhouse card, but it could actually be kind of fun. Balvin V, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, I apologise, I am not up to date on popular music, I think would be a very fair thing to say. Comes in with a Charizard, 180 HP, retreat cost of 2, weakness to water. I like that they've made all the retreat costs and HP the same, that makes me very happy. And for 2 fire, 2 colourless, Llamaritmo, 150 damage, but next turn it does 250. Worth pointing out that if you are pushed to the bench and then come active again, that'll reset and only do 150. And I do like doing 250. 250 gets 1-hit KOs on basically any Pokemon V, which is great. And 250... is basically enough for anything other than V-Maxes, and if they're weak, you'll get V-Maxes, and you are hitting weakness on metal and grass, being a fire Pokemon, but the fact of the matter is you need 4 energy, which is especially awkward since Welder rotated, and even then, 150 isn't actually very good. You need the 250, so that's a little bit of a pain. And remember the ruling here, it doesn't mean it does 150, then 250, then 350, etc. It does 150, then 250, 250, 250, unless it gets reset. And then we got Post Malone V with Dragonite and Butterfree. Yeah, Post Malone apparently gets 2 of them, which is kind of cool. Same retreat cost of 2, weakness to lightning, but because we're talking a flying Pokemon here, you get a resistance to fighting, which is nice, although you don't hit anything for weakness because you're colourless. 4 colourless energy, 120 damage, plus 20 more for each type of basic energy attached to this Pokemon. Look, I ain't saying this is easy, but I am saying if you can get 5 different types of basic energy on there, that's 220, and then you're 1-hit KOing Pokemon Vs, and that's actually really kind of cool. that is something, maybe this could be a little bit of fun. I mean, certainly let's not forget that in Evolving Skies we got that Smeargle, which for 2 colorless energy does 30 damage, and you reveal any number of basic energy cards from your hand, and you do 30 more damage for each type of basic energy you revealed in this way. So if you're already playing a Smeargle deck, then you'll be playing a whole bunch of different types of basic energy, and I'm not saying this would be amazing, but I am saying that if that Smeargle deck could work, some people think it will, some people think it won't, well, this is actually like a legitimately decent deck in that particular deck. Something to keep an eye on. Also, another question that we do have a definitive answer to. We can look at these cards. They don't have regulation marks. If they were going to be legal for tournament play, they would have regulation marks. They don't have regulation marks, so we can say with absolute certainty these will not be legal for tournament play. We don't need a ruling or any of that. We know for an absolute fact. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Not the news I thought I was going to be sharing with you this weekend, but come on. This is cool, right? This is fun. This is genuinely exciting. And I'm a little bit happy. But I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.